Can you hear me now? I think I had it on monitor only. Can you hear me now? I'm gonna restart. I'm gonna go from the top. Go from the top. Rewind. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you and to you, and especially good morning to you. No matter what time it is. I'll admit all I said was, my shoulder feels super weird from the Beat Saber stream yesterday. I don't know what's going on with it. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like it doesn't hurt. It's just like there's sponge shoved in there or something. I don't know. But anyways, this is a special kind of stream, I guess, because at the end of this week, on Saturday, my time at least, it will be the debut of my good friend Farah, who I kind of turned into a VTuber without any input from her. What happened was we were just talking on Skype or something, or Discord. I guess no one uses Skype anymore. We were talking on Discord, and I think she just said something like, VTuber, what kind of VTuber would I be? And then just out any input, I just started making her into a VTuber. So, so anyways, that's exciting. She's not gonna have her own channel. She's not gonna have her own Twitch. She's not gonna have her own YouTube. She's just gonna stream with me on collabs sometimes. But she's, so she's just part of the Lua Lucky cinematic universe. So in honor of her debut, this whole week is just dedicated to streams about her and, things related to that. Oh, I forgot. I gotta do my... Was that good? That was my Beppis. I have a fresh, cold Beppis from the freezer. It's a good one. That's a good one. So, considering that I made my own VTuber model and rigged my own VTuber model, and then drew my good friend Farah's VTuber model, and then rigged my good friend Farah's VTuber model, I just thought it'd be interesting to discuss, how VTubing works. If you were to, become a VTuber, how would you even do that? Both if you were going to make your own model, or if you were going to commission someone. And it's very well known that VTubing is quite an expensive hobby. Just because, the work that goes into making a model and rigging a model is at a premium, let's just say. And it is highly skilled work. I mean, you need a lot of knowledge and practice in order to make a good VTuber model. And I just thought we would talk about that specifically, what are these weird details, I wasn't, let's just talk from the perspective of Farah. Farah wasn't just drawn, you don't just draw a regular drawing and then throw it into Live 2D. You have to do a whole very special, weird setup for it. And so actually, let's look at what that looks like. What does a VTuber model PSD look like? And by the way, if you have any questions, please just pop them in the chat and I will answer them. Boop. I'm too big. Make me smaller. Okay, so here we have a perfectly typical, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know exactly how typical it is. This one's a little bit kind of complex here. But this here is a VTuber model in its raw form, fresh from the farm to market VTuber model right here. Beppis. And it's kind of horrifying, right? It's kind of weird looking. It's super weird looking. So this was just, so because I was drawing a model that I was rigging, there's some weird idiosyncrasies about this. For instance, these masks, which you probably, certainly, definitely would not find in a normal model. But then, I mean, ultimately, the interesting thing about a VTuber model is that you have to draw each of these pieces individually. So we don't care about the rest of this stuff. Let's just look at the, get out of here. Get out of here. We just want to see how many layers there are. Come on, come in. There's probably a better way to do that. Anyways, there's like so many layers. It's because every single part, every single limb, every single finger, every single joint needs to be its own layer. So you end up with a lot of stuff. This is just for like this whole tier system. It's tiers that I made that I don't even know if I'm gonna put in. Anyways, so eyelid, this is just that little line here. You've got the eyebrows, but actually this is just the color part of the eyebrows. As you see here, or this is just the line part of the eyebrows, and then the color is its own separate part. So not only just like, oh, the arm is its own part. Sometimes each part is like 10 different parts. So let's specifically look at the eye. The iris, just the iris, is 4 parts. Well, actually it's, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 parts. Which is made up of these little blue highlights, then these bigger blue highlights, then we have the pupil, that little ring, and then the actual color part, and then the outline. And then, that doesn't even include the eye highlight. So, there's a lot of tutorials you can look up concerning if you want to draw your own VTuber model. Actually drawing it is really only half the battle. Like, your own art skills is truly only half the battle of drawing a VTuber model. The other issue is just how you, what is called cutting it up or butchering it, how you separate the parts. And many riggers, live 2D riggers, and also just like separate services will actually separate that out into its own step. So for instance, I mean, most artists don't actually cut up their models in the best way or the correct way. So actually, many people have to pay a third person to cut up their model, you know, like make sure, oh yeah, like the person forgot to add the part that goes behind the shoulder, so that has to be cut up. Or maybe they made this part the same connected to this, and oh, they didn't want that, you know, they just didn't know, the artist didn't know the exact setup that the rigger would need for their rigging, because they just, you know, they don't have any experience with rigging. And I highly recommend that if anyone is interested in drawing live 2D models, or VTuber models, I really recommend trying to actually draw and then rig your own model, because it is so informative. The very first time I drew a live 2D model or a VTuber model, and then I went to rig it, I was like, oh, this model is unusable. I have to go straight back to the drawing board. There was just, I thought I knew what I was doing, you know, I thought I didn't fall into any of the traps, but there's just so many little specifics. I mean, did you know that one of the popular ways to make the bottom of the chin disappear when you look up is to make these 2 separate parts? And, you know, not just make them 2 separate parts as in this line is like its own layer, but actually, you know, making it its own layer that's completely black, because live 2D is really bad about having tiny transparent seams. So you actually have to make there be no seam whatsoever. I mean, it's just all these little tiny details that you would never even know or think of if you didn't actually try rigging something in live 2D. So yeah, there's just like so much weird technical skill that goes into making models for live 2D. And of course, drawing all these expressions, these are all separate. It's got the blush, we got the We got the her coloration is a different one. Got this little like anger vein. We got a little nervous sweat mark. Nope, that's not right. Where is it? If I hide enough stuff, this might become recognizable as a regular model. Ooh, we're getting closer. She's still missing an eye though. Oh, I should note also that because I was drawing this myself. Yes, okay. You hit the nail on the head, Olivia. I was just about to say. Because I was rigging this myself and I knew that I wanted everything to be perfectly symmetrical and I wanted to have the amount of work that I was doing for myself, I only even bothered to draw one side because I can draw one side, and then when I take it into Live 2D, I rig that eye or that ponytail or whatever completely, and then you can just mirror it in Live 2D, and you have to do half the amount of work because you don't have to redo all that stuff that you already did. I mean, there's ways in Live 2D to not have to completely redo it, even if it's the same art mesh, but it's still a lot of work, Beppis. So, yeah. So just because I was doing my own model, there was a lot of shortcuts that I took, a lot of tricky, weird stuff that I did, just because I knew exactly the process I was going to go through. And even then, every single time I make a VTuber model, I learn something totally new. Every single time. Doesn't even matter if it was making like the Chibi Lua or, you know, whatever. Would you have to mess with the eye highlight in Live 2D to make it not perfectly symmetrical? Yeah, so I mean, personally, I'll show you. Let me show you. Let's go to Live 2D, shall we? Next step in the process. So we've got our PSD, we've got our model PSD. We found a rigger, which by the way, if you're having trouble finding a artist who does Live 2D models or finding a rigger, I highly recommend first go to VTubers that already exist, check out their profile. They will always, pretty much always, I mean, it'd be insane if they didn't link their mama and papa. And you can find riggers that way, you know, see VTubers that exist and then go to them and then see if those people are within your budget, or it's kind of hard to find people's budget that way normally, especially if they're like Japanese riggers or artists. It's a little harder to get that information, but so that's one way. Second way is I highly recommend joining the Live 2D Discord. Riggers and artists are constantly posting. You can find really good deals there. Like it's very, very people who undervalue their work. And also people who do butchering and cutting and stuff there. You can find them very easily on Live 2D Discord. So those are two really great ways to find people if you're not making it your own. But as far as these parts that aren't symmetrical, actually, I just flipped them. So, okay, so when you flip something in Live 2D, you're not flipping that exact object. You're flipping like this basket, let's say, that contains the object. So see this green outline here? This is called a warp deformer, and it is the parent of the iris. So basically, it's not, yeah. So like a basket is probably the best analogy. So here you just saw I flipped it, and if I were to oh, interesting. Okay. Well, basically, I had to flip the parent and then flip the actual meshes again. Oh shoot! I'm a dummy. I didn't click the thing. Okay, sorry. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. So basically, this green outline here, this is the warp deformer, and it is the parent of the iris. So. Oops. What's a better one? This one? Yeah, sure. So like for instance, this is the parent of both the irises. This is the parent of one of the irises, but it won't let me move it unless I'm on a keyframe. Anyways, but then the actual art itself, which is called an art mesh, you can like flip those too, just on their own. So basically what I did is I flipped the parent, but then I flipped the art meshes. So, you know, things don't have to be perfectly symmetrical, but just as far as positioning it on the opposite side, that's how I did it. So we have our PSD here in Live2D, and Live2D rigging is seriously unlike anything. I've done a lot of different digital media in my life. I've done a lot of 3D modeling. I've done animation, both 2D and 3D animation. I'm a programmer by trade, actually. If you don't know that about me, I am a video game programmer, actually. Bepis. Yeah, anyways, I've always really been interested. I've always done all kinds of digital media stuff. And Live2D is really its own monster. It really is. There are certain things that made it a little bit easier for me to learn. For instance, because I have a background in 3D modeling, I understand parent hierarchy, parent-child hierarchies. So what all that means is this shoulder here is a parent of the elbow. So if I move the shoulder, it will also move the elbow. Woo! Oh, that's not the shoulder. Where's the shoulder? Shoulder. There you are. Okay, if I move the shoulder, it'll also move the elbow. That's all that means. I know it looks weird. Don't worry. It's not done. So, yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff with Live2D, and I'm not here to do a full Live2D tutorial. There are a lot of those. I recommend checking out Brian Sui. Really helped me the most, to be honest, of all the Live2D tutorials I watched. Well, actually, more accurately, for me, the best learning resource for learning Live2D was the Live2D Discord. Because not only do they have tons of tutorial links, they also have tons of just like tips and tricks, like, oh, if you want to do this specific thing, this is how you would do it. Here's one. Like I mentioned earlier, like if you wanted the chin to disappear as she looks up, that's how you would do it. So like that's something I learned. Although that meta has kind of changed a little bit recently, I think. There's just, yeah, it's just a whole, it's its own monster. It's so weird, Live2D. And it really, it's not a perfected art. Live2D is constantly, people are constantly innovating it. People are constantly figuring out new ways to do weird, cool stuff with it. And I really love following all kinds of Live2D riggers, whether they do VTubers or, you know, any kind of Live2D rigging on Twitter. And I'm just constantly learning things from them because this is really its own art form. Bepis. Do you know if it's possible to deparent and reparent parts at runtime? It is not possible to do that. It is not possible to do that. Yeah, no. That would be cool though. Yeah, Live2D is really limited. But like they say, limitation is the home of creativity, or at least I say that. I don't know if it's a saying, but you get the idea. And as far as like the level of experience with Live2D riggers, it really runs the gambit. I mean, you can find people who will rig your model for $100, but it's not gonna be hololive quality. You know, it's not gonna, you know, look as good as you might hope. So it's really important to kind of, even if you are just commissioning your own VTuber model, it's pretty important to do a little research on like, what actually does a really good VTuber model look like? What are the elements that I need to look for to be able to judge a person's rigging? And, you know, I don't know what the wait really was about. So, you know, I have seen, you know, people whose prices I feel like don't match their experience in both directions. Honestly, I've seen people undervalue their work, and I've seen people perhaps overvalue their work. And like, yeah, I've mentioned VTubing it's well known that it's extremely expensive. A model, like a model could be anywhere, as in the art, can be anywhere from like $100 to $3,000. Look at a different window. I hate that YouTube chat comes up on different times on different versions of it. Someone who has experience, what elements of a VTuber model do you notice that impress you? Well, I mean, that kind of runs the gambit. Like, for me, in my brain, there's like a baseline that's like standard, and then there's things that are below that, and then there's things that are above that. Let's take a look at something that just absolutely is stunning, blows me out of the water. I think about it when I go to sleep at night. I just ponder and dream. And let's see here. Chrome. Okay. We're gonna go to Twitter, www.twitter.com. Oh, so I'm not logged in. Okay, well, I'll just go to Kimono Twitter. And it's her pinned tweet because she's very proud of it, and she should be. So this model right here, which if you guys are on VTuber Twitter a lot, oops, that's too big, you might have seen, is insanely impressive. To be honest, a big part of why this is impressive is not only just that it looks good and its range of motion. What's impressive about this, okay, so as far as like moving the leg and stuff and rotating the foot, on its own, like being able to rig that in Live 2D it's cool, but it's not extremely impressive. The impressive thing about this is that she set it up that the move, like when the VTuber moves and how the VTuber moves is extremely impressive. Because if you don't know this, VTubers, the only thing that's being tracked right now is our face. So what direction we're looking, and just my facial expressions. Huh? So we can't track the rest of our body, or at least 2D VTubers can't. So, you know, having how the body moves and when the body moves, and the decisions about how and when the body should move and which directions control it, that's the impressive part about this model to me. Himono, by the way, she's an absolutely incredible Live 2D rigger and artist. Seriously. And she posted like how she actually did a lot of this stuff too, and a lot of the details that she was proud of, which you can't say about all riggers. But I think the really cool thing about Live 2D rigging is that the vast majority of Live 2D riggers do reveal their secrets. They don't keep their secrets close to their chest. They spread that information to the rest of the community, which is really cool. I'm gonna drink a Beppis. So as you can see here, she's showing off. What she's showing off here is the physics setup of the head and how she set up all her physics for this stuff. This is the physics screen. Which, like I said, is the really truly impressive part of this model, is all the physics. Boobus. Yeah. So, and because she is both an artist and a rigger, she also has impressive control over the models that she makes. I don't know if she drew this one though, to be honest. Did she? I don't know. Doesn't say. Okay. Cool. So yeah, and then I mean, so like, you know, baseline stuff that I look for. Does the hair look smooth when it moves? Does the hair, a lot of it is given away with the hair, to be honest. You know, does the hair feel like it's moving the way it should move. Does the VTuber look weird when they look in certain directions? I kind of do. I kind of do look weird. I'm not super impressed with myself. You know, this is all the kinds of details I look when I'm looking at a rigger and, you know, just the baseline stuff. Mouth shapes, also kind of important. Ooh. I'm not impressed with my mouth shapes either. Let's go back to Live 2D. So yeah, every time I make a model, I try to I absorb all of this information. I absorb all of these tips. I process it through my brain, and I figure out, you know, what are this stuff that I want to apply back to my models. And I'm pretty impressed. I won't show you guys Farah until the debut and her movement. But I think I outdid myself this time. I think I did a pretty good job. There's some stuff on this model that you have never seen in a VTuber model. Ever. You've never seen it. I guarantee it. So please, please, please come to the debut on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time? Pacific Daylight Time? No, whatever. So, we talk about models. Models, like I said, can run from $100 to $3,000. And then also, I mean, rigging, also very expensive. I would be weary of any rigger. I would be quite weary of any rigger that charges less than like $500. If they're charging less than $500, they're either very inexperienced or there's something wrong going on. That said, just because they're charging more than $500 doesn't mean they're a great rigger. You know, it just runs the whole spectrum, right? So I know, like, I think I looked it up, like, some of the best rigging you can get, I mean, goes up to like $2,000 about. What's with VTuber models and them wearing long sleeve stuff like that with arms exposed? I've never seen people wear that stuff IRL, at least around here. Long sleeve stuff with their arms exposed. I mean, like, okay, so one of the big things is the forearm and the upper arm are like two different pieces. So you want to usually, ooh, I'm gonna burp. Okay. Usually you want to make sure that you don't put anything right at the elbow, because if you put something at the elbow here, let me show you actually. Let me show you. Let me show you. Womp, 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 womp. See, I got my arms exposed. Let's see here. Okay. So the actual like bending of the elbow is a whole thing. I'll tell you, it's a whole thing. It's a whole issue. Any joint that you're gonna have bend that much is gonna be really difficult and weird to do in Live 2D. Here's me, my typing pose. So you'll see that I made the transition from one version of my forearm that went all the way down to a different version of my forearm that is bent. With the jacket kind of half off. I mean, for me, it's just cute. I liked it. I think it's cute. But there is an issue with shoulders as well, I have to say. So yeah, like the same problem. You actually want a seam at the shoulder because it's a lot easier to hide it. I mean, for instance, mine, like I showed you, this is just like a circle here. If it wasn't just a circle, that would have been a lot harder to hide the movement. Like if it was just well, wait, let me show you. Let me show you really quick. Let me show you on my other model. Lua 2. Electric Boogaloo. Boop. Nope. That was weird. Whoop. Hi. So on this one, this outfit, where is it? No hoodie. You can see that my arms are exposed. So having my arms exposed makes it a lot harder for me to move my shoulder properly. It looks weird, right? This looks kind of weird. It's hard. It's really hard to do. I think I definitely could improve. That's one of the areas I want to improve on. So yeah, there's just a lot of things. There's a lot of weird things about Live2D that kind of make certain designs a lot harder to do. We've talked about models, the VTuber model. We've talked about the VTuber rigging. I guess we could talk about like how you actually run like VTube, like how you actually like stream. So, to be honest, okay, I keep hearing that Live2D and like VTuber models are very computationally heavy, but to be honest, I have always had a really beef PC. So I don't actually know. I've never had any problems with how complex my VTuber model is. So I can't really say anything. I can't really attest to that. I mean, I know that actually streaming itself can be an issue because, you know, the streaming software is pretty tough on your computer. But I don't actually know how computationally intensive VTubing is. I'm sure if you're running on a I don't know what the word is. Not beef PC. That was an accident. Not beef PC. It might be an issue. Let me, you know what? Here, I'm gonna try something. Boop. Ah, you can see everything. No. I hate that it does this. I'm looking for the calculator. My calculator's not open. This one. Ah, hey, you can see me. Oh, I'm not moving though. That's kind of interesting. Maybe if I turn off NDI. Nope, still not moving. How interesting. That's fascinating. Let's try game capture. Well, okay, we're gonna try something a little risky. A little risky. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. You guys are getting all the secrets. I'm spilling all the tea. There we go. Okay, so what you're looking at right now, this is VTube Studio. What size in pixels are your PSD canvases? This one that I drew, oops, you can see everything. This one is 6,000 by 12,000. Well, like 13,000. 6,000 by like 13,000. Pretty big. Very large. Anyways, what you're looking at right now is essentially like my camera booth, I guess you could say. I use a gray background because actually some of the color like spills into some of the transparent pixels, so I use gray because it kind of hides all that. So this is the program that the vast majority of 2D VTubers use. I don't know anyone who still uses purpur or whatever it's called, but a lot of, or not purpur, that's 3D. Face cam? That's not right. Face cam? No. What's it called? There's like another one that is like, what is that called? Face tracking. What's it called? I don't remember. Face rig. Yes, thank you, Olivia. Face rig. I don't know anyone who still uses face rig, to be honest, because VTube Studio is made for VTubing, and it's constantly being updated by Denchi, who is a live 2D rigger himself. So basically what VTube Studio does is it takes in tracking data, which can either be from your phone, your phone's camera, or they just recently added webcam. And that the webcam support is what made everyone stop using face rig, because if you don't have an iPhone or like a phone that you can use as your camera, a lot of people just don't have a phone they can use as their camera, so they couldn't really use this. They couldn't use this software. But recently there is webcam support that I do not use. I use a iPhone. I have an iPhone that is clamped to my desk using like a C-clamp. Then it has like a bendable like rod, and then my phone is on the end of it. So I can position my phone however I want on my desk, and it doesn't take up any desk space. It's great. Highly recommend it. I know a lot of people though, they just put it at like where a webcam would be, at the top of their monitors, but I didn't think about that. I just thought of this one first, and I like it. So the thing is that actually the best tracking you're gonna get is from an iPhone, because an iPhone has an IR camera in it, which is actually it's like a Kinect. You know, remember Kinect? Remember Kinects for the Xbox? That's basically what that is. And so it can actually know exactly where the contours and stuff of your face are. So the iPhone is actually looking at a 3D model of your face. And then VTube Studio takes in that 3D model, interprets it, and translates it into numbers that can be put into the live 2D. All the secrets. Let's see. This isn't the one. I want to look here. There we go. So here you can see I'm getting this is the tracking. What's an easy one? Like face up and down, okay? So right here, my face up and down tracking number is like 3 right now. If I go up, it'll go up to like 40. If I go down, it'll go to like negative 25 or so. And then that is mapped onto the actual parameter in the Live 2D rigging. Basically, the way Live 2D works is everything is controlled by a number. So like a whole list of numbers. If I were to show you, for instance, if I wanted to change this, these are all of the parameters that are in my model. Most of these are controlled by, or a lot of these are controlled by like physics and just like how I move. But a lot of these red ones are all ones that are controlled by the actual phone data that's coming in. Do you have an exclusive for VTubing iPhone, or do you use? I use my personal phone. I'm not gonna get a whole iPhone just for VTube. That's a little ridiculous to me. That's a lot. Speaking of costs, let's talk about costs. This program, VTube Studio, is probably the cheapest part of the entire VTubing process. It's only 40 bucks. It's 40 bucks that you pay for on your phone. And actually, oh yeah, no, and you have to buy it on Steam too. I don't know how much, I can't remember how much it costs on Steam. I think you have to do both if you're tracking from your phone. But if you're only tracking from your webcam, I think you only have to just buy it on Steam. And then also, I have a microphone in front of me. I use an AT2020, Audio-Technica 2020. It's like a mid microphone. Did you switch to iPhone to do VTuber stuff, or is it what you were using before? I already had this phone, but I did upgrade phones soon before. Like I always had iPhones, but I used to have an iPhone 6. By the way, it's not all iPhones. It's not all iPhones that do this. It has to be an iPhone 10 or greater, I think. You have to look up whether the phone has Face ID on it, because it's not all iPhones. I'm gonna take a Bepis drink. So, but to be honest, I don't remember. I didn't upgrade my phone because of VTubing. I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember. I think I upgraded my phone because of photography. So like I wanted the better camera, or like I wanted to take some better pictures. So I was like I just get a better iPhone because I need a new iPhone anyways. Oh yeah, the only purchase on Steam is for VTube Studio is to remove the watermark that's at the bottom. The little Wolfie mascot is really cute. Yeah, so I mean, you can try out Visual. I keep saying Visual Studio. That's how you know I'm a programmer. You can try out VTube Studio if you guys just want to like mess around with it. You can download it and use it for free. It's kind of like a trial version, if that makes sense. So VTube Studio has some really cool features. First of all, VTube Studio is currently in beta for tracking the horizontal movement of the mouth, which is very cool and that is completely new as far as I'm aware to any VTubing software, which is so cool. I mean 2D at least. But also it has some really cool features as far as, well, okay, you can change your background, sure, whatever. But you can also do this cool thing where you add items and you can pin them to your model. Oh God. Wait, it's behind me. That's terrifying. That real hand is terrifying. There we go, in front. So, oh God. So you can change the size, you can make it smaller, and then you could basically, right now, I think I need to like double click it or something. Oh no, wait. Unlock. There we go. Now it's pinned to my head, which is very cool. VTube Studio code. So yeah. Up. Let's get rid of that. It freaks me out. Let's do a more fun one. I want sunglasses. Or Bepis. Haha. See, and it stuck to me. Yeah, Niji and Hololive can't do that. I know Hololive uses their own proprietary software, and I assume Niji Sanji does too, but I have no idea. Oh, you can see you can see the secrets. So here I use NDI, which means that the video, like just the video with a transparent background, is sent to my OBS, which is great. You don't have to green screen anything. It's just like transparent video that's sent, which is like choice. Or you can use virtual webcam, does the same thing, but I just use NDI for whatever reason. Here's the webcam tracking options. Are the Bepis and headpat assets something that come with the software, or did you download them? I've seen a lot of VTubers use them. They come with the software, but you can use anything. You could use you could upload your own photos. And the center of the image is where it's pinned onto the VTuber. There's a lot of things you can automate. You can automate blinking. Oh, interesting. Wait. Link eye blinking when face is rotated. Interesting. Now, VTube Studio, how are you gonna atone for, wait, is it solved? My eyes don't go wonky anymore. You guys, my eyes don't go wonky anymore. He fixed it. He fixed it. Pachi, 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 pachi. My eye used to close when I turned. He fixed it. Back then I would see the VTubers IRL face accidentally get exposed during stream. Was that an issue back then, or was that just the streamer's mistake? I have no idea what software they were using. That was a different software for sure. I don't know what software they were using, but people don't use software anymore that can happen. Well, like, I don't know about FaceRig. Maybe, oh, it's probably FaceRig actually. I bet FaceRig has a thing where it'll like pop your camera up in the corner, but VTube Studio can't do that. VTube Studio doesn't even send video, it just sends the numbers. So for an image that you want pinned somewhere that isn't the center, you just have to, yeah, exactly. You just make the actual canvas larger, and so it'll pin at the center of the canvas. Yeah. I thought a lot about doing weird stuff with that, and I haven't actually done that. Interesting. Sensitivity. So this is all, I'm assuming this is, yeah, this is all webcam. Okay, yeah, this has nothing to do with me. I don't use a webcam, so none of this has to do with me. But yeah, he fixed the thing, but I don't have derpy eye anymore. Oh, beautiful. Thank you, Based Denchi. We already knew you were based, but oh, and here you can control all of your expressions. So, for instance, Angie is this one. And you create expressions outside of VTube Studio, and then in VTube Studio, you just you choose them. You actually create it in a special Live 2D like model viewer. Does Live 2D or does VTube Studio support APNG? I do not believe it does. Yeah, I don't think it does. As far as I'm aware, it just supports like PNGs and GIFs. There we go. So even my clothes are actually technically an expression. I can blue screen. Lua.exe has stopped working. Now rebooting Lua.exe. Okay, and so you can do all kinds of fun stuff. And this is the beta, so there's actually even more new fun things like setting the color and stuff like that. You can also have the buttons appear on screen like I do with one of these, and this is my you're in my presence. Pose. But I have a ton of expressions. Because I rigged myself. I can create as many expressions as I want. Actually, though, I think, yeah, even if you did like get your model commissioned, you can totally make your own expressions because it's just setting different parameters on your model. So, and you don't need like Live 2D to do that. You can just do that with just the file that you get from your rigger. Anyone could become a cute anime girl. Didn't you hear? It's 2021. We can all be cute anime girls. Wrong button. This one. What's in it? Do I have any interesting expressions? Dog. Everyone hates my dog's outfit. Everyone always clowns on my dog outfit. I think it's cute. People say it's creepy, but I think it's cute. Yeah. One. Oh no, my eye's doing the weird thing again. Okay, I see. It just does a little bit. It's not as bad as before. Yum. Doot. Hello. Woo. And okay, so wait. Okay, I didn't actually talk about my physical setup as much as I wanted to. So I have my Audio Technica, which is held on a C-clamp, which is another $20. Not free! And I also had to buy an XLR cable. My XLR cable goes to a Scarlett Solo, which is about 150 bucks. My Scarlett Solo USBs into my computer, which then goes into NVIDIA Broadcast, because NVIDIA Broadcast has a really great noise removal protocol. So I use NVIDIA Broadcast to do my noise removal. And then NVIDIA Broadcast goes into Voice Meter Banana, which does my compression. And that goes to OBS. So that's my whole audio signal chain. The creepy part of the dog ears is that the color of the fur hint that you took them from another dog instead of being yours. Well, they're not mine. It's like an accessory. I just put them on. They're not from another, they're not real. They're not from another dog. They're like from Party City. Party City dog. Oops. If I make the Beppis bigger, I'll look smaller. One foot Lua. 6-inch Lua. Nice. VTubers. Tiny Beppis. I'm growing. Oh, I can't make it any smaller. What's happening? Can't make it any smaller. I found a bug. Interesting. Ah! Size is like Alice in Wonderland. Close enough. Beppis. I always find it really cool that VTube Studio tracks how much your cheeks are puffed out too. I guess just to finish off the whole VTuber everything, I guess, is that I stream from VTube Studio onto Streamlabs OBS, and I'll be honest, the only reason I use Streamlabs OBS and not OBS is because OBS does not have Control-Z. OBS does not have Control-Z, and that's insanity, and I refuse to be party to that kind of behavior. Does anyone else have any questions about VTubing and VTubers and I guess everything else? And then I stream from Streamlabs just also because I switch between Twitch and YouTube. It's it's slightly easier on Streamlabs. I don't have to like copy and paste a stream code. What am I? I'm Lua. Fine, I'll stop being a dog. Y'all are haters. Is 3D rigging hard, or is it just as hard as live 2D? Complicated question. It's completely different. Rigging with 3D is a lot harder to learn. I learned how to rig with live 2D in like a couple weeks. Competently good enough, but rigging with 3D is like, that's a person's job. Like that is a whole, that's something people go to school for, you know? What are your thoughts on streaming on YouTube versus Twitch? 2 people asked that. So YouTube has way worse discoverability in my opinion. But as a person who does not stream every day at the same time, YouTube is better for me because people know that a stream is going to happen. and they can plan for it, and they can, you know, they can wait in the waiting room without having to follow me on Twitter. Some of you don't follow me on Twitter. A lot of you do. I see you like my tweets. It's very helpful, by the way, when your YouTube username is the same as your Twitter username, and then I know you between the two platforms, but that's a whole other thing. Anyways. So YouTube is a lot harder for people to, it's a lot harder to get new viewers. But if you don't stream every day consistently, it's a lot easier to retain viewers, because Twitch, it's difficult to retain viewers. Yeah, that's my opinion on the subject, but people find you a lot quicker on Twitch because Twitch's discoverability is really good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend what I do, which is stream on both. That's stupid. Yeah, that's my YouTube versus Twitch thing. Also, Twitch is weird. Twitch has weird rules that are constantly changing. I don't know how I feel about that. The thing on YouTube is all you have to worry about, really, as long as you're not too risque or something, all you have to worry about is copyright. That's not that bad. I can predict copyright. I can't predict hot tub meta. Although, did you guys hear that Twitch added tags for like what kind of streamer you are? Because, okay, so everyone for years now has been saying, oh, we want a VTuber tag, oh, we want a transgender tag, oh, we want a whatever tag. The problem is that Twitch always said that the tags are for the content of the stream, not the streamer. So that's why they never added those things. Even it wasn't the content itself that they were, you know, it wasn't the tag itself they had an issue with. It was just that the tag was supposed to be about what you're streaming, not who you are. And then they added the LGBTQ plus tag, which is about the streamer, and then that kind of threw it all out the window. And then I thought it was stupid that they wouldn't add the other tags, but they just added all those tags. See, so now you can stream on Twitch under the VTuber tag, which is very cool. What assets outside of the model do you see being really important, like backgrounds, loading screens, BGM, etc.? I wouldn't say any of it is important. No one is gonna like. Very few people are gonna click away from your stream just because you don't have a super cool layout. For me, because I didn't pay anyone to make my layout, I made my own layout. So, you know, I think I might have a stronger opinion about it if I was paying someone else to make my layout. But because I made my own layout, for me, I'm just sort of wishy-washy on it. I was like, oh, I want a nice layout. I don't think I did a good job, but my layout's my layout. One second, I'm gonna switch back over to Bloop. Hello again. Okay. I don't think any of it's important. I've seen very popular VTubers who don't even have good mic quality, so I don't think any of it's important. Is it difficult to stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? Have you ever tried it? I mean, literally, like streaming the same stream to both at the same time, it's not difficult at all. It's actually a default function of Streamlabs OBS. The problem is it's technically against both of their terms of service, but you're not going to get in trouble for it unless you're like an affiliate on Twitch or something. And even then, you rarely get in trouble for it. But yeah, it's technically not allowed. I'm going to put the Bepis over here. Any cool things you want VTube Studio to do? Yes. Actually, this is a good plug. Actually, I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm gaming the system. I don't care. I'm gaming the system. 1 second. VTube Studio Trello. So, VTube Studio actually has a public Trello, which is essentially a website where you can track features that you're working on. They have a public Trello where you can vote on features that you want. And there's a feature I really, really want. And that feature is an API. And what an API is, I'm gonna put the link in chat for you guys to please all go for, it's a vote for the API. What an API is it would allow me as a programmer to control my model from outside of VTube Studio. And what that would mean in practicality, what that would mean for most people is that you could do something like someone could have a redeem on Twitch that changes my outfit. That's the kind of thing, that's what that means. So, or like changes my expression or something like that. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. So yeah, go upvote API, please. I very much want it, because without the API, it's very difficult to do that stuff. It's possible, it's just very annoying. Exactly. Currently the only way is to fake a keyboard input, which as a person whose main engine is Unity is not exactly an option. I mean, I don't have to use Unity, but I just prefer to use Unity. I think I saw one, I think I saw like a Unity plugin that allowed you to do that, but I didn't figure it out. Because right as soon as I found out that having an API was on the table, and I mean, he's going to make it, but the votes encourage him to go faster, you know? Yeah, an API will open up a ton of possibilities. And also, I believe that part of his plan for the API is that you'll be able to take the tracking data that VTube Studio gives you and put it in a different program. So actually, I could take my tracking info and put it directly in Unity. And so I could actually just control myself from my own game. Found a Node.js module that does fake keyboard inputs? Yes, that is exactly what Aton uses, I believe. Yeah. But I don't touch JavaScript if I can help it. Any other questions? I don't know what else to talk about. I think I covered everything. I mean, I can talk a little bit about 3D. I have started planning for my 3D debut. What do you mean when you say you're using Unity? Unity is a game engine, so like, it's like you can make it's a program, and you can make games within it. A lot of games are made in Unity. I'm completely drawing a blank on games that are made in Unity, but a lot of iPhone games are made in Unity. A lot of indie games are made in Unity, and basically it's just like an easier way for me to program stuff, honestly. It does all the stuff that I don't want to do, like setting stuff up and whatever. So yeah, what I just mean is that I could just make my own app that controls my model or whatever, does whatever. And I just happen to use a engine called Unity. One of these days, I'm kind of in the midst. I haven't worked on it in a while because my real life job is busy right now, like really busy right now. I don't want to say crunching, that's the wrong word, but close to it. So I haven't been working on my game recently, but I am in the middle of making a Kiryu Coco game in Unity, and I streamed that development on my Twitch. My Twitch link is linked down below, by the way. For me, the way I use Twitch is like, Twitch is for my long, like, I'm working on stuff streams, or my workout streams. So that's what my Twitch is for. And then my kind of more like substance streams are all here on YouTube. I am not currently using Unity for I'm not currently using Unity for my model or anything. It's just like in the future, I want to do that stuff. I am using Unity to control all of those animations that are triggered. You know, like when you guys type yay in chat, or when you type kusa and little grass pops up, or if you type F and an F falls from the sky. That was all programmed in Unity. I could do a whole stream talking about that insane setup, but no one cares. Yeah, like that. See? That's Unity. I actually send all of your chat messages are being sent to a local Node.js server, which I then send to Unity. If you're a programmer and you know what that means, that's what I'm doing. Pepes! Do I have any hopes, ideas for the future of VTubing? Hopes or ideas for the future of VTubing? I mean, I have plans for myself. I have really, really big plans for my 3D debut, by the way, guys, which is planned for my 1-year anniversary. So that would be December 14th. And I very, very, very much hope that all of you will be there and that we'll have even more friends that will join us. I hope that, you know, we'll be a nice, big, fat, thick community by then. That would be really nice. Or it's just like, I don't know, like a good little bunch of pals. 3D debut, aren't you already using it for things like Ring Fit Adventure? That's not my 3D model. That's just a temporary 3D model that I just use for workout stuff. I have big plans. Big plans! Big plans. Ugh. Ha. Those are all burps. But as for the greater VTubing medium, I don't know if I have like hopes or ideas. I don't know. I think VTubing is really cool. I think it's just, I think VTubing as a medium has just exited its infancy. I think that we've done a lot of the obvious stuff, but I think that we still have have some distance to go. I think there's still room for innovation in VTubing, which I think is really cool. And I think it's one of my favorite parts about VTubing. And yeah, I'm always excited to see all the cool stuff that people make and do with VTubing. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff. It's a temporary 3D model. Do you have any specific things you want to improve to call it the official version? Well, like it's not like it's the one that I use for. I mean, I didn't even mention this because I only talked about 2D VTubing, but I don't want to say most. No, I will confidently say most. Most 3D VTubers created their model in a free program called Vroid. Vroid is a program that allows you to create an anime person on your own. It's a very simple program to use. You can find a lot of tutorials about it, and you can make your own anime 3D model. And so the one that I use for my Ring Fit Adventure streams, that's a Vroid model. But my actual model won't be a Vroid model. Is there a reason I don't have a donation thing set up? I don't want donations. Oh no, you're gonna miss it? Well, it's okay. You're off gonna be doing stuff. My actual 3D model is gonna be made from scratch. To be honest, I'm kind of struggling. I really want to just pay someone to make my 3D model, but I can't bring myself to do it because I'm just such a stubborn person. I like the idea of saying that I do everything on my own. And I do like to save money, to be honest. You can subscribe to me on Twitch, but I don't recommend it. Don't give me money. I don't need it. It's fine. I do spend a lot of money on VTubing though, I have to say. Like just today, I spent $40 buying a iPhone to HDMI cable in case I want to do, because I kind of want to do like Bang Dream streams. I really like Bang Dream. It's one of my favorite rhythm games. I would really like to play it on stream. So I bought a HDMI iPhone to HDMI cable because I was watching Ina and I saw how many issues she had, and I was like, if I do a stream, I don't want to have those issues. So, and speaking of 3D, oh my god, if you want to do full body 3D tracking, that is expensive. Most people do it using VR hardware, like me. I have a VR headset that I wear. So just the VR headset itself, the one that I have, which is called a Vive Pro, is I think like $1,100. I don't know, I got it a really long time ago. I think that price went up since I got it, to be honest. And then I also have 5 VR trackers, each of which is like $150. So yeah. Oh, and I use index controllers, which is another like $200, $300. I can't remember. Oh, 3D is so expensive. And I mean, then there's the insanely expensive like professional 3D VTubers. Like, I'm assuming Project Melody does this. I know for a fact that Code Miko does this. They'll use a thing called an X-Sense suit. I don't know why I winked, but I did. Ooh, burp. Burp. Okay, they use a thing called an X-Sense suit, which is $13,000. I can't afford $13,000. That's for sure. In terms of live 2D stuff, I'd love to see someone with a MK, I don't know what that means, setup with animations tracked to your PC input similar to that controller one I saw on Twitter. That I believe is part of, I believe that is something that Denshi is going to be adding with the API. I think that is something that you'll be able to do with the API. Is also sending data to VTube Studio to do stuff like that. So with the API, it will be possible. Okay? Make sure to vote for the API. Mouse keyboard. Well, you can do stuff like that, actually. At least with just the mouse and keyboard. Only the mouse and keyboard, you can do stuff like that. I'll show you again. 1 second. I'm gonna bloop out of the way. Bloop. Hello again. Why is it like, oh. Here, let me show you. So, technically speaking, you could, but you can only toggle it on and off. It's a little weird. But anyways, no, you can do animations. So anyways, it only works with the mouse and keyboard. So in your expressions thing, you can set any key. It doesn't have to be 2. You can set any key to trigger either an animation or an expression. So hypothetically, you could have a pressing I triggers an animation where my model is pressing the I key. Okay? And as far as the mouse goes, you can actually see it knows where your mouse is, and it will actually, you can actually put this in as a parameter. So a lot of artists rig their model so that their model is holding a pen and the pen moves with the mouse, which would be the pen on the Wacom tablet. A lot of artists do that. Oh, imagine making mods for games to use that input to send API, like adding scars and damaged armor when you... See, you have the good ideas, my friend. That's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea. I have no idea how to mod games, but that's a cool idea. Okay, I'm gonna go back to... Bloop. Bloop. That's a really good idea. Does anyone have any other questions, or I think we're gonna end the stream? I think we've exhausted our live 2D questions. If you are watching this VOD and you have questions, feel free to put them down in the comments and I'll answer them, okay? But I think as long as anyone has any other questions. Oh, is your expression based on your keyboard, or are they on your screen to see what's... Oh, yeah, I use a Stream Deck. I have a Stream Deck that triggers hotkeys. And then the hotkey goes to VTube Studio. So, actually, I can probably just show you. I'll show you my Stream Deck setup. Where is it? Where is it? Nope, I just opened Streamlabs. Stream Deck. There it is. Okay. This is my Stream Deck setup. So I have a screen that's just for accessories. So, you know, my dog thing, whatever. I have 2 screens for faces. So, whoa. Oh, wrong button. Then my second face screen, which is more like kind of more subtle things. Yeah, that kind of thing. Or some of them don't have icons because I'm lazy. We have poses. So these change my poses. T-posing on the haters. And this button, by the way, down here in the left, resets everything. You get the idea. I just use this for... I don't even use these other ones, to be honest. Really, I just use this for my yeah. What kind of monitor setup do I have? I have 2 monitors. I have one monitor to my, like, kind of directly in front of where I sit, and I have one monitor to my right. I have like an L-shaped desk. So my right monitor is faced like towards the center of the L, and my other monitor is just faced straight on the long side of the L. And I technically have a third monitor, which is my Wacom tablet, but I sometimes use it as a third monitor, but mostly I don't really need it. And my monitors are on monitor arms that are clipped to my desk. Yeah, that's the long and short of it. Yeah, I use 2 monitors and a Wacom tablet. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, any other questions? Any last questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh. I wish I had more Beppis to drink. I have water, I guess. I should drink water. I've not been drinking enough water. I'm so unwell. Oh, you know what I should have titled this stream? I should have titled this stream, O Lua of the VTubing. Give us your wisdom, or whatever, that one. How often do people ask you to be your waifu? Never. They've never asked me that. As far as I can remember. I'm not Nene. I'm not so cute. Oh, I love Nene. Nene is like the cutest person in existence. Warms my heart. I'm a Nene husbando. Lady and daddy and baby and grandmother and grandfather all join Nene collection. Nene collection, come on. Maybe I'll change the stream title after this. Oh, and her PNG arms are really cute too. Yeah, she also does these really cute redraws where she'll take a selfie, an IRL selfie, and she'll draw herself over it. So cute. Nene is so cute. She's so cute. Nene's so cute. So, I would like to remind you all to please come to Farah's debut on Saturday at 4 p.m. It is actually going to be so much fun. I'm actually really excited for it. It's not a regular debut. In a regular VTuber debut, you know, they do the slideshow, they talk about their hashtags, they talk about their likes and dislikes. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that because Farah is not going to be streaming on her own. She's only ever going to be streaming in collabs with me. So we're not bothering with any of that. It's going to be very fun. I hope you'll come. So yes, please come Saturday, 4 p.m. right here on this channel. It's this channel. I'll probably open the waiting room in the next couple days, to be honest, just, you know, in preparation. Why not? Link to her socials. She literally made her Twitter account today, and it's not set up. Let's see if she set it up since I last. She did not set it up. I will link it on Twitter, and it will be linked in the waiting room for the stream. But basically, she doesn't have socials right now. I wasn't kidding when I really just thrust this upon her, and I was like, "Do you want to make a Twitter?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'll probably make a Twitter." So she just made a Twitter. By the way, she's a ferret. I feel like I should mention that. She's a ferret girl. I haven't really mentioned that. Farah is a ferret. Her name is Farah Fang. Is her full name. Farah Fang and Lua Lucky. So her name is Farah Fang, and she's a ferret girl. She's very cute. I'm very excited. In the next couple days, I'll release a teaser of her in motion, and you guys will see some of the cool stuff that I have created for her. And yeah, well, my next stream is actually on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I'll be doing a drawing of me and Farah, and that'll be very cute too. Oh, my meme is amazing, by the way. Thank you. I actually had that meme in mind for weeks now. I'm glad that people found it amusing. Also, I learned that there are way more people who have forced their friends to become VTubers than I expected. A lot of people related to that meme, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, if you're not following me on Twitter, you're missing out. So go follow me on Twitter, because I'm always dropping the hot press info, all this, my stream schedule. I post a stream schedule every single week. And to be honest, I would post them on YouTube too, but YouTube won't let me make community posts until you reach 1,000 subscribers. So also, please tell your friends to subscribe to me. I would really appreciate it. See, it's so stupid. There's so many restrictions when you don't have like a big audience. Ugh, stupid. Anyways, and now I'm just rambling. I'll see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for drawing stream. And then those are the only 2 streams this week, is the drawing stream and Farah's debut, okay? So I hope to see you at both of those. Okay? Goodbye, everybody. I hope you learned something about VTubing, VTubers, all the expensive things that we do. Thank you for coming. Good night.